Hi everyone, I'm going to return with Trip Chop's Coventry series now from the E234 on Bank Holiday August. And sorry about the delay for today, but I had about 52 jobs to do earlier. This game features Drip Drop as black v his bogey player, Timothy Crouch. So he has the same name as me, and he also has the same surname as that gigantic footballer Peter Crouch. And I think before this game, Drip Drop had either drawn or lost to him in several games. So hopefully Drip Drop can rectify this problem, especially given the Bull players won a very handsome score of 2.5 out of 3. So how will Drip Drop do? Well, Drip Drop had his opening played against him, which is 1 knight f3. For some reason in these annotations he's given a variation of 1 e4, Scandinavian defence, and then playing e6. And black should only sack a pawn with e6, just like Drip Drop know if he's watching, and Scandinavian if white's played c4 as a waste of tempo. For example, ed, this is the line which you do sack a pawn with e6, knight f6, and if knight, so c4 you can play e6 and it's called the Icelandic Gambit. But no, this is not good, because white's not done anything wrong, whereas with c4 he has, because he's not developed a piece or control the centre. Knight f3, knight f6, d4, e6, Bxd7. So white is basically, for the first 3 moves, playing a torre attack, which is characterised by the pawn d4, knight to f3, and Bxd7. And Drip Drop actually plays probably the second best move in this position, which is c5. If I'm playing black in this position, because I get this position, I actually nudge the bishop first. And white has 2 options. You can either retreat the bishop, and you do play c5, but I quite like nudging the bishop first because you have the option of playing g5 to break the pin at any moment. I think it's a bit more accurate. But a lot of white players will actually try and punish you for it, losing playing a6 and actually chop an f6. And then they actually get e4 in, but they've ceded the bishop pair, and this transposes to a line of the Chomsky, the same one where I got pasted in by 20 moves by Garnett in the rapid play. So if you want to see that game, you get pasted with this line, please check out John Garnett v Tim Hilton, British Rapid Play 2, Torquay 2013. c5. Now knight c3 is played. Usually white would play c3 in this position, and then have to do cd, cd, d6, e3, bishop7. He set up a hedgehog formation, knight c3, b6. I think out this bishop. Knight c3 was played, and now actually I'm not sure what you do against this move. I think you might want to chop. I think you should chop in this position. You get a sort of like open Sicilian type position actually as well. Actually, I think if you play a6 in this position and white plays e4, is this an Najdorf position? If you play knight c6, is this actually transposed to a Najdorf? No, it's not actually. No, we've played e6, not d6. It's not quite a Najdorf, but I think it's a sort of Sicilian. It's a Sicilian defense now. But I think some kind of like Taiman, or if you play the Queen c7, but I'm not too sure. But knight c3, cd is a sort of a move that the Sicilian player might want to make. d5 was played instead because Drip Drop is a Najdorf player, not a Taimanov player. e3, knight bd7, knight e5, bishop e7, bishop e5, a6, and now white gives his bishop pair up for some reason, but of course he can just take it back if he wants. And in fact he does take it back. And in fact now he doubles Drip Drop's pawns, but this is not as good as it looks because Drip Drop's emerged from the complications with a strong bishop via knight, and he's also got potential prospects down the g file, and the double pawns on that are quite good because they support e5, or black can play f5 and not leave e5 square as a whole. So I think overall Drip Drop has equalised this position. Queen f3 was played. Now king e7 was chosen. Drip Drop decides to protect the pawn with his king and use the rooks of the g file, which is not bad. a3, b5, rook d1. Bless me. Queen c7. And now white played g3, which looks like a blunder. But Drip Drop plays bishop takes a3, but actually that's not a very good move. Black should instead play a move like, well, it wants to try and get e5 in, but the problem is the d5 pawn is attacked too many times, so maybe Drake should think about putting all his pieces on the d5 pawn and trying to get e5 in. But he plays bishop a3, so of course his point is if white takes back, then bishop routine, and then he drops his knight with check and the a3 pawn. But he plays this intermezzo, ed5, ba3, and now the d5 pawn is hanging with check, and Drake decides to play queen c3 check, king f1, and now queen c4 check, king g2, and now rook a d8. And now white plays another good move, he plays rook d4. And Chip should probably just grab this pawn, I think, just for his troubles, because he's going to drop the d5 pawn anyway at some point. If rook takes d5 now, actually, after rook takes d5, queen takes d5, rook d8, check, rook d7. If queen takes a6, black is winning with queen e4 check, so white can't take that pawn. And in this position, it's more dynamically equal. And we'll probably end with one side giving perpetual check, because the king's looking to look a bit open. Queen c5 is chosen instead, and again, well, it does protect the d5 pawn, I suppose. But now after rook hd1, this is looking very bad. After rook queen takes a3, in this position, white missed a beautiful move. But he did play a good move instead. But white did miss a beautiful move in this position. And if you want to try and spot it, please stop the video now. White overlooked rook e4 check. The point of it is there is a long false mate if black dares to take the rook, and if it doesn't take it, then the rook's just coming again with tempo and the f6 pawn's dropping, which is not very good. So of course you can imagine it's pretty bad if white black moves the king. So he takes it, we have queen takes c4, and now in fact actually the king has to go back here, and then this rook falls with check. And although it's now equal material, we've got queen g4 check, king h6, and well, white can just take the rook if he wants, but rook d5 so just makes black on the spot. So after rook e4 check, yeah, black can't take. He has to play king d7, so the pawn doesn't go with check, and then white just plays rook f4 and wins that pawn, and d5 is hanging as well, so he just lost this. But rook takes d5 is played, which is still good. Rook takes d5, queen takes d5, king back to f8, rook d4, which is not that great. Queen h5 is a lot stronger, setting up threats with rook d8 check, rook d4, h5 only move, rook f4, rook h6, defending the pawn laterally, nice defense by drip drop, rook e4, king g7, and now white misses rook e8 with strong threats, but plays queen here. After queen c5, drip drop starts to get back into the game. Now white offers a queen swap, which is very bad because for two reasons. Reason one is that white's queen is a lot more active than black's, and black's king is a lot weaker than white, so therefore keep queens on. However, there's another reason why it's bad. That in an endgame, a queenside pawn majority, which black's got an outside pass pawn actually, rather than a queenside pawn majority. That is a massive advantage in an endgame. So white must keep the queens on. White should never swap queens off in these positions. Although his rook's still active, which probably holds the balance, white is blowing his advantage. f5. Now it's looking quite drawish. So now, although white wins his pawn, now comes rook f6, forcing the king and pawn ending. White takes. And drop pins all his hopes on this outside pass pawn. a4. King d4, the only move to stay in the square. But now it's actually starting to look pretty bad for black. Yeah, because if a3, king just gets back, so he tries to use another pawn as well. King c4, the only move not to lose. a3. King b3, the only move not to lose, but also win. King e5. f3, nice move, keeping the king out. King d5. And in this position, it is given as 0-1, but so it's given as white resigns. White has resigned in this position. g4 wins for white, it just wins because it creates an outside pass pawn. And e4 check, c4 check, and c3 all draw. But white resigned. which is rather funny because White is winning with G4, and even if he doesn't see G4, there's 3 draw moves. And usually in these like low sections, you usually get people playing on queens behind. You never usually get people actually resigning when they're completely winning. Another example of that is me, my game once, where I resigned in the 1 position because I didn't see a combination. I thought I was just losing. But this is rather ridiculous. But nevertheless, it moves drip drop onto 3 knife out of 4 and ends his run. It's a bit like when I did my run against my bogey player. I was like completely lost in the game and swindled the win by winning a piece. Yeah, so sometimes you do get the rub of the green, and to win these tournaments you need the rub of the green sometimes. So I made a very fortunate win because drip drop's on the back foot most of the game. I'm losing a lot of it, but he hung in there, and White decides to drip drop was the thought it was Christmas Day after this game. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and we'll see if drip drop can continue it up in round 5. For now, please leave any comments and thoughts. Thanks very much.